Are Warner Brothers actually moving ahead with a Babylon 5 remake without J. Michael Straczynski? It looks like they might be. Welcome to the Tachyon Pulse.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.
Okay, so we know that J. Michael Straczynski, a couple of years ago, wrote a script for a boots up remake of Babylon 5. He basically said, look, I had to do a complete remake because nobody wanted to buy Babylon 4 or Babylon 3 or Babylon 6, even though Babylon 5 was the last of the Babylon stations. But he was very clear that, look, I really desperately want to do this. It's the only way. That was being looked at for the CW initially, but then after the ownership changed, Warner Brothers tried to sell it to other streaming providers. Warner Brothers have this business model where basically they'll produce some things for Max, etc., but what they prefer to do is produce things for other providers, other streaming providers. I mean, like they just did The Sandman for Netflix, for example, and 100 other projects. That way, there's lower risk for them. They have some of the largest studios in the world. They get to use them and just get paid. And when it goes wrong, there's no risk. They have massive debt, and this is one way of trying to resolve some of that debt. So, they tried to sell it to other streaming providers, but nobody was interested. And we actually told you exclusively in first, over on Scitrek, our sister channel, that that's what was going to happen. I've told you guys before, J. Michael Straczynski wasn't very happy about that exclusive drop, even though it turned out to be correct. So, we then heard rumours that after J. Michael Straczynski packed up shop and moved to Britain, that actually Warner Brothers was still interested in doing something with Babylon 5, and that they can. They actually own the copyright, the IP. They own everything to do with Babylon 5. J. Michael Straczynski doesn't. So they could actually reboot Babylon 5 without him. I'm being told that that is exactly what they are considering doing. That they have already put it out there that they would like to maybe speak to producers or writers that have an idea how they would do this, and that if they can find the right person, they will move forwards. Now, it will again mean finding a streaming provider or another studio to partnership. But I'm being told they're way more confident of that without J. Michael Straczynski. I don't quite follow that, to be honest, if I'm really honest. For one, JMS has proved over and over again he's a brilliant writer. He has, again, he knows Babylon 5. He said in interviews and stuff on Twitter, I've spent 20 years thinking about this. I know how to do it. I don't think anyone at Warner Brothers, by the way, has spoken to him about this. If this rumour is true, it feels a bit like when Amazon decided to do a Lord of the Rings TV series and didn't speak to Peter Jackson. So, where am I getting this from? Where's the news coming from? Well, again, we get to speak to a lot of insiders more on the business side of things within the industry. And this is how I found out that actually stream providers weren't going to pick this up, because basically the people I speak to were the first ones to find out. They were the ones basically doing the negotiations and talking to other studios. So that's how I got the inside scoop on it. This is basically a similar thing, because the people I get to speak to are the ones actually doing the work. They're not the creative here. They're not executives. They're not agents sometimes, even though I do have some relations with some of the agents in some of the larger agency companies like CAA, etc. But they're the people actually doing the dirty work. They're actually doing the job. They're doing the contracts and blah, 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 blah. They're the tens of thousands of people that work for studios that never get anywhere near making a movie, don't get anywhere near celebrities or stars. So, I'm being told that has been put out there. That select people that Warner Brothers have worked with in the past that they think could be good for this, that basically have either between deals or whatever they're working on at the moment might be coming to an end, and they have very quietly approached them and sort of said, look, we would love to do something with this. It's a cult TV series. It really still has a really good following now. If you got the opportunity to do something with it, what would you do? And apparently it's not gone any further than that. They're not gone as far as actually suggesting or requesting pitches, but that would be the next step. At the moment, it is just supposed to be a very quiet, very secret, except for I found out, conversation with a couple of very select people. The next stage would basically to put a call out for production companies, etc., to put a pitch across. This is similar to what happened with Stargate with Amazon, where again they just let certain people know that they were interested in doing a Stargate reboot, and they pitched their ideas. Bad Robot even got to. God knows how that would have worked. I will tell you at the moment as well, Bad Robot still have a deal with Warner Brothers. They could actually try and pick this up. Bad Robot could do this. Babylon 5. I'm just going to say that again. Bad Robot. It's very possible, to be honest, and I could see this as a project that they would go for. Got a very strong link to ruining other sci-fi shows, so why not ruin Babylon 5 as well? So look, I haven't no inside knowledge on that because they've not got as far as that, and I don't actually know who they've approached. I just know that they have. So where does that leave us at the moment? It does mean that very quietly behind the scenes they are seriously considering remaking, rebooting an IP that they own that still gets really good minutes. They put this on Max a couple of years ago and it got really good views for a TV show that's 20 something years old. So they know if they do something, people will be talking about it, people will get excited about it, and people will watch it even though there will be a lot of negativity on social media, mainly because JMS isn't involved. That was the main thing for me when this was being talked about being rebooted, was I was worried, social media are going to tear this apart. It's hard for the haters to jump on board and start hating this when JMS is involved. It's a lot easier if he isn't. And those haters are out there. There's one channel at the moment that's frustrating the hell out of me because they did a video telling everybody how much they loved Superman, the new movie, James Gunn's movie, and then they did another video saying how much they loved Fantastic Four, best thing, MCU is back, and then have done an article every single day since about how badly Fantastic Four and how badly Superman has done at the box office, how they're both massive flops and it's the RIP MCU. I can't stand that sort of thing. So yeah, it's out there. People will hate on it. Would I think this show could succeed? They would have to get the right person involved and they would have to get a really good cast. Because if there isn't something for fans to latch onto that interests them, it's going to fail. And it will fail spectacularly. I also don't know which streaming provider would get on it. Apparently Amazon were interested in maybe putting it on Freevee if they could get the right price. But would they put it on Prime? I don't know. Do you know who I would be interested in doing this if they picked it up? Apple. They don't tend to do remakes or reboots. They tend to want to do original stuff. And I did hear rumours that they were maybe interested in Babylon 5 back when this was being talked about before. But if they produced it, remembering they've got a really good working relationship with Warner Brothers as well, I think they produced Foundation, and I think, didn't they produce Ted Lasso as well? But if they did pick it up, I think they could do something interesting with it. I also think they might give it a good enough budget and actually give it time to develop, because I tell you what, if they don't give this at least 2 seasons, it will just get cancelled. But guys, get into the comments on what you think. I've told you guys before that this was a possibility, that Warner Brothers were interested in it, but it seems to be now moving forwards. If it happens, would you be interested? Maybe. Get into the comments and tell me exactly what you think. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you become a member of the channel and get to see a lot of these videos before everybody else with lots of news and rumours. Go check that out as well. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.